So, in 2017, I watched a video from YouTuber Jenny Nicholson, and I enjoyed it enough to go to the channel and watch another one. It was around here I realised I'd just struck a rich vein of YouTube gold, so I dropped a like and a subscription. Since then I've eagerly enjoyed every video. Some I have seen literally dozens of times. So, a Jenny Nicholson video is... well, it can be a lot of things. Sometimes a review of a big Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel film. Sometimes a deep detailed dive into a near unheard of film, show, book, doll line. Sometimes a video log of a trip across country to buy a gigantic plush spider, but always with a certain level of quality and excellence that delivers on entertainment every time. And so I've been thinking about my favourite episodes, and I've arranged those thoughts into the form of a numbered list. Number 10. Porg That MP4. Jenny and some friends drive to pick up a giant stuffed porg.
Where are we going right now? To the porg!
We get to vicariously enjoy some really wonderful moments thanks to Jenny Nicholson. It really warms the heart to see.
Oh my god, it's so heavy. Okay. I'm like crying. I'm really glad I have my sunglasses on.
And this video is the introduction of Giant Porg, a fan favourite Jenny Nicholson sidekick.
So yeah, there. Beautiful.
Number 9. Nobody on the Planet Remembers Beastly. A retrospective of the movie Beastly, which is a modern take on Beauty and the Beast. A comprehensive conversation into the content and its context, including merchandise, music, multiple endings, and a masterpiece of a Wii game. To quote Miss Nicholson,
"What were they even trying to do?" You can make that the quote for my review.
this movie is a misguided mess, and it is a pleasure to listen as Jenny breaks it all down for us.
I have some boxes that bad movies can tick for me. Decent budget, earnest effort, bonus points if they're riding on the coattails of some recent movie-making trend, especially YA trends. And finally, more bonus points if there is some absurd supernatural element. Beastly ticks every single one of those boxes. The plot is so incomprehensible, and I love it.
I lost my sight.
In a lot of ways, it's like being turned into a candelabra. This movie's dialogue is a hot mess, and that's actually like one of my favorite things about it.
And here we see another great example of Jenny's work. I love the deep, comprehensive approach she takes when exploring a subject.
Thank you for going on this magical journey with me, but we are just getting started. Shall we go on to the next point?
And the wonderful oddities it turns up.
I just found out that they made a Kyle Halloween costume, and I thought I was gonna die looking at it. Another piece of merch that they made, and my favorite thing to come out of the Beastly saga, was number 6. The Wii game. I have played this game in its entirety.
I may not have remembered it, but I'm glad I now know it exists.
Hunter?
Yeah?
You're a good friend.
Beast zoned.
Number 8. The worst ghost hunting show of all time. A video about the worst ghost hunting show of all time. And this show really is something. I don't think it stood a chance.
The ghost hunting shows that I like are the underdogs, like the sad knockoffs of the popular ghost hunting shows. Most of the paranormal activity is extremely unscary and extremely boring. Some of the beats feel a little too foreshadowed.
I was overcome with a smell.
Has the house ever been treated for mold or mildew problems?
Not since I've owned the house. I did have to replace the roof.
There's just so much wrong here, as the show almost goes out of its way to deflate itself. But this does give us something oh so right.
The shining star, my favorite character, Brian. Brian is a guy that does home inspections, and that's all there is to it. He just slowly moves through the house, crawling through ducts, examining wiring, crossing one thing after another off his list, joylessly debunking all of the ghosts we just heard about. Also, if you want to play the Paranormal Home Inspector's drinking game, you need to take a drink every time Brian identifies that a door has not been installed correctly. It's like every show.
We're gonna go upstairs and have a look at closet door.
Door at the top of the stairs is an easy one. It's not level to begin with because the floor is shifted.
The doors in this house are not hung properly.
Close one door, the other one opens. They're only held on by magnets.
These old latches also never latch properly. They're having problems with the door opening on its own. I can see right away that it's not really installed properly, is it?
Back door closing by itself, it is not installed properly.
Still, for all its failings, I find I'm glad it exists. Another great video.
Even if this show had followed all of my suggestions to improve it, do you think I would like it more? It's more fun to watch a ghost show that's bad. Just like it's more fun to have a ghost than to have a door that you didn't install properly.
Malcolm seems comfortable with his findings. Number 7. Is Forces of Destiny good? A thoughtful discussion of the Star Wars Girls doll line, Forces of Destiny.
No. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm just kidding. I'm kind of kidding. Hear me out. My feelings about Forces of Destiny are complicated and intense.
And Jenny shares these insights into a whole assortment of ideas relating to a subject.
Point number 5. Character integrity and the way it ruins things. This is a pillow of Han Solo in carbonite, but Han Solo is Donald Duck. You can't get these anymore. They started liquidating all this stuff around the time The Force Awakens came out and Disney started regarding Star Wars as a valuable brand again. I feel like these dolls were designed without thinking of children as their own human beings with their own psychology and very specific ways that they tend to play with specific kinds of toys. I feel like I'm in that scene in Big where he can't get the guys in the boardroom to understand that kids don't want to play with the transformer that turns into a skyscraper. And when little girls play with Barbies, their games are very focused on talking and interpersonal relationships. Here's a child playing with a Barbie doll. You clutch it in your little hand, you wobble it around like so, and you make it talk to the other Barbie dolls. That's most of what they do. They talk to each other, they have drama, there's a party, and one of the dolls was invited, and one of the dolls wasn't.
The whole time bringing a healthy dose of funny to the discussion.
Ladies, get you a man who can do both. Okay, I can't deny that I like this one. Jyn Erso canonically died in an explosion, which I don't think is true of any of Barbie's friends. And here comes Jyn Erso with the absolute brutal smackdown. I fully appreciate that Rey swinging her lightsaber looks like nothing, Leia with her blaster looks like nothing, and Jyn swinging a baton to savagely beat you over the head to your death looks pretty good, pretty on the money. This is the best one.
Number 6. Let's fix some ponies. Jenny spends some time cleaning a few G1 My Little Ponies. It's nice to see hobbies, and it's clear that she loves collecting those ponies.
Mostly the old ones are the ones that I like. And that's what these are. It's like a whole box of 80s ponies, the best ones. Look how deep this box goes. Like, I can just stick my arm. They're all G1 ponies. And taking dirty ponies and cleaning them and making them look really nice again, it's like one of my favorite ways to spend my time. So this is like Christmas. Good as new. Very clean. And Slugger. I love boy ponies. This one is disgustingly dirty, so this will be really satisfying to clean off.
And seeing them get all cleaned up is definitely rewarding.
Ka-chow. I'm basically a wizard.
And as she takes us through the process, we hear that this is the talk of someone with lots of knowledge and experience.
So, that right there is ballpoint pen, so that is going nowhere, my friend.
Love it. Number 5. Where's Buzzy? The Great Animatronic Caper, a tale of hearsay, clues and mysteries, explaining the history, life, retirement, and possible recent kidnapping of the animatronic performer, Buzzy.
Somebody took their boy!
We get an amazing backstory into Epcot, its history, the rides.
Unfortunately, this model led to Epcot quickly becoming the abandonedest park in Disney World.
This is Epcot Center.
I'm pretty sure if you took a team of scientists and locked them in a room and tasked them with creating some kind of sadistic make humans sick device, they would just be like, we did it. It's called Body Wars. To hide the attractions, for the first several years, they just put up temporary walls. People who weren't hep to the theme park jive would stand in there drinking their wine and eating their chocolate nitro truffles and not realize they were just on the other side of some plywood from a fully intact abandoned theme park attraction, which I find really spooky and exciting, and you should too.
Jenny discusses the trend of urban exploring in the following crime.
Hey, what up? It's your boy, just hanging out somewhere I'm not supposed to be. If you're a cop, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
I mean, apparently during his interrogation, Backdoor Disney started vomiting everywhere, which to me either indicates that he's very distraught or that he just finished a fun-filled ride on Body Wars.
All of which leads us to our mystery.
Moving forward, I think we all need to keep a weather eye out for Buzzy. Try to spot him on Craigslist, or in a private collector's garage, or hitching a ride down the interstate. And if you find the boy, you can contact Disney with your tip. Or you could bring the boy to me. That boy is mine. Bring me the...
Number 4. The worst reality show of all time. This is my favourite intro ever, so I'm going to let Miss Nicholson describe this.
So I think reality TV can sometimes get a bad rap. It's known as the lowest common denominator entertainment, lazy, cheap, exploitative. So I want to be clear that the show I'm going to tell you guys about, it's all of those things. But what makes this the worst reality show of all time is that it just fails on every imaginable level. Like, the only explanation I have for how a show could fail this horribly is that maybe one of the producers crossed an old fortune teller woman at a local fairground and was cursed for 1,000 years. The product that was planned was extremely poor, but then also, nothing went according to plan. It was a liability nightmare, a total bloodbath, just this poorly designed and pointless competition of untested games that even nature itself seemed pitted against.
I'm Luke Tipple. This is Opposite World.
This is another example of one of my favourite parts of Jenny's work. Finding the right content. Content with the right kind of wrong. The consistent, slightly funny failings of this show that mount up and up into a running joke, into a punchline. By the end, you can't believe this even exists.
We're freezing cold.
A little cold over there?
Oh my goodness, it is cold over here.
It's freezing cold in here.
Oh, I'm so cold.
The shower is an unheated spigot stuck into one of the walls. They were provided materials to build a fire, but the damp winter weather made it all moist, so they couldn't do anything with it.
It would be nicer if we had a fire going.
Somebody build a damn fire right now. Because of the weather, our fire starting kindling was too moist.
He falls 10 feet onto the ground below and completely misses the safety cushion.
His leg is broke, dude.
He horrifyingly shatters his leg, lies on the ground groaning in pain, and has to get taken away by an ambulance. So there goes Charles. Fortunately, Steve is wearing safety goggles. Unfortunately, this is opposite worlds, so the safety goggles are cheap and useless, and the impact of the tomato shoves the rim of the plastic into the skin of his face, slicing him open, making him bleed everywhere, and leaving him with a scar that doesn't go away the whole rest of his time on the show, and which, for all I know, is permanent for the rest of his life. Do reality shows just not get audited for workplace safety?
JR, what happened to you, mate?
I was doing a little run in the cave last night and ended up spraining my ankle.
This can't be normal.
My name is Luke Tipple. I'm a scientist, an adventurer, and for the next 6 weeks, I will be leading you on what will be a perilous journey through time.
Number 3. Top 10 lame things to do at Disney World. Jenny takes us through a list of the top 10 things to do at Disney World that are objectively lame, but subjectively amazing. This basically consists of Jenny singing along with animatronics.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Man has a dream, and that's the start.
Loving the singing animatronics.
Yes. This show is boring, but it's great. Yes. I love him.
Jenny hugging animatronics.
I don't know why it's exciting to meet BB-8, but it is.
Bitterly ruminating on past animatronics.
The dragon is still there, but now he's like a naughty bad boy, and he sprays you with stink bomb smell. I still like to ride it and just kind of spend the whole time bitterly ruminating on what used to be and looking at the dragon animatronics.
Basically just taking us on a tour of some of the coolest animatronics in the park.
Oh my god, let me tell you about Sunny Eclipse. So there's this one restaurant in Tomorrowland, it's called Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, and you can get burgers and other fast food options. They actually don't even have a lot I can even eat. But here's the thing, you get your food, you proceed to the seating area, and there on the stage is just this animatronic lounge singer alien constantly serenading you as you eat. Sunny Eclipse has a 24-minute performance loop, and when it ends, he just goes right back into it. He is never not performing. And when he's not singing the praises of the various food offerings, he is singing about his own backstory, because God forbid you eat your burger and leave without learning the entire Sunny Eclipse canon.
Hello, all you Earthlings. My name is Sunny Eclipse.
And also there's some goats.
I could be on Expedition Everest, the Yeti-themed roller coaster, but I like to go pet the goats.
Bah, bah.
Number 2. The Grim Dystopia of A Christmas Prince. A video analysing the Netflix Christmas romance film A Christmas Prince, and its deeper themes, revealing the grim dystopia which lies beneath.
A Christmas Prince 2 tickled my... whatever the foreboding version of a funny bone is. By the second film, we still have no glimpse into how Aldovia functions outside of the Christmas time. And that's when you realize that it doesn't. Aldovia is a nation trapped in the purgatory of a perpetual Christmas. Throughout the entire movie, we're getting subtle, unconscious clues that they aren't having a good time. And now the bright, snowy landscape doesn't feel charming. The light feels harsh and unforgiving. The fields of snow, a barren wasteland. The story follows almost an alternating scene-by-scene pattern of the characters encountering political unrest and then deciding to cheer themselves up with some kind of traditional Christmas activity.
The unions are calling for a nationwide strike in solidarity over unpaid wages on our work programs.
If all the infrastructure projects are happening in Aldovia through Aldovian companies, how can the country be losing so much money?
Oh my goodness! Richard!
Please, Your Majesty, I beg you, slower.
Dear Royals, while I'm sure you're having a dandy Christmas at the palace, the real working people of Aldovia are suffering.
What do we think of that?
The analysis of the themes that emerge throughout these movies is great.
This is delightful, and it's also our first hint at one of our themes of the series, which is deception and facades. And then I realized, no, it's to tie back to our theme of facades.
And I love the exploration of the colours. Really, this video is worth watching for the analysis of the movie's wardrobe alone.
Number 7, the colors of A Christmas Prince. This cinematic universe makes great use of their colors. It's established almost immediately that Amber's colors are bright blue and a deep cranberry red, which really makes her stand out as a vibrant character among all the other characters of the royal household. In a brilliant bit of visual storytelling, in every scene you can see which characters are allied with or working against Amber based on the colors that they're wearing.
And I really love these hilarious takes.
Okay. It's a weird morning.
And at number 1, the Vampire Diaries video. In my opinion, this is Jenny Nicholson's magnum opus. An extremely detailed essay exploring all the facets of this franchise. The good, the stupid, just those two things. This is a 2.5 hour long video, and I've seen it far too many times through. It's methodical, well organised, funny, intelligent. It's a pleasure to listen to as Jenny takes you through everything VPD. And I mean everything. The lore.
Number 3, the lore. When you're dealing with supernatural creatures, you have to establish how your universe of choice works. Lots of universes have covered vampires, witches, werewolves, but they tend to work in different ways. The first season of the show is pretty good about explaining its rules.
The book's origins.
Number 4, the birth of Vampire Diaries. Let's have a little history lesson. I said that L.J. Smith is the author of the Vampire Diaries books, but interestingly, they were not her idea. In the early 90s, HarperCollins approached Alloy Entertainment, a book packaging company, and told them that they wanted a teen vampire series.
The characters, good and bad.
And then this weirdo shows up, serving Paul Revere energy. He's dressed like a grown-up, and he talks in a super stilted way.
Which is a mere 3 hours from the town we know as Mystic Falls, I surmised it had everything to do with Katerina.
In my opinion, Elijah is one of the only vampire performances on the show that you buy as an old soul. No thoughts, head empty. I think it's this actor more than the writing. Something about him just gives me such Zoolander energy. Tyler? And not Ben Stiller as Zoolander, but like if the character Zoolander was trying to act in a TV drama.
So much for that sire bond.
I'm not your little bitch anymore.
I dislike him so much that it kind of circles around to being fun when he's on screen.
China Beach.
I realize that China Beach is not actually part of VPD canon, but it is definitely part of the experience for me. The mirror of my mind. The series that brought women to the front line.
Ivy Jones, straight to it now!
And dared to show the other side of war. I gave him a home before he died so far away from it. Hits the beach with the most anticipated DVD release in 25 years. I think it deserves its own page on the fan wiki.
The music?
The best thing about the music in the show is that a lot of the time, the lyrics are comically on the nose about what's happening on screen.
Okay.
Hey, get your things, it's time to go.
I don't deserve you. But my brother does.
I want nothing more than to dance with you.
Much of which now lives rent-free in my head, along with basically all these clips.
Drop it! I want your family. Here's your family.
I don't understand. Oh my god, you're a ghost.
She plays and reviews the point-and-click adventure game.
I ended up just fruitlessly circling the town, re-clicking all the same places I'd been before, talking to the same 6 people in the same order, and then going to sleep to make it change from day to night. It's like a depression simulator.
With the incomprehensible ending. And the awesome ending song. She discusses the clothes.
Number 19, the clothes. The wardrobe department is so aggressively hit or miss.
The themes, the good, the stupid, and the missed opportunities. Like a real discussion section.
So I'm glad we could have this nuanced conversation here today, and it only took several hours.
And this amazing reaction video of the last episode. Like seriously, I watched this and it is straight up emotional.
Special mention to this girl who cried basically the entire time. She even chanted along with Bonnie and her ancestors. She got 1 million views on this and she deserved every single one of them.
It is now sitting at almost 2.5 million views and she does deserve every single one of them. And Jenny Nicholson's video is sitting at over 8 million views and she deserves every single one of them. This is a great work, a piece of art, and it's literally my favourite thing on YouTube. So, anyway, those are my favourite Jenny Nicholson videos. Why not leave a comment below, angrily listing some of your favourites? Because there are definitely more than 10 outstanding videos. It took some real hard choices to avoid this being a top 30. So I picked up a bunch of ponies, you know, from my background. I fixed them up, gave them a clean, and as I was placing lightning down next to lightning here, I was like, okay, you got me. Beautiful.